Good morning. My name is Casey Roberts, and I'm going to talk about how tools we use in the classroom changed over the past century. Here we have Mrs. Rogers' 1910 science class, second grade. As you can see, the kids are lined up, all facing the front. And here we have Mrs. Suzette's second grade class. And the kids are using technology to their advantage, and they're interacting with each other to learn and interact. As you can see, the kids are much more happy than the last class in the 1910, and that's because the kids are interacting and they're using technology and they're actually excited to stay, much unlike the 1910 class, who probably wants to go home and do crossword puzzles or whatever they did in the 1900s. The pencil. This was a 1905 invention that is still very common today, but we use less and less every day. The radio is a 1925 invention that we use for music mostly today, but we used to use for communication, educational purposes, and to record voice memos. And the pen, a 1940 invention that we also use to write just like the pencil, but we use less and less every day. Now, these new technologies we're seeing everywhere more and more, like the iPhone, the laptop, and the iPad. These help kids use different sites like Khan Academy, Pearson, and BrainPop. And without even using a pencil and without even having to be in a classroom, kids can still learn. And teachers can use Land School, teachers can use Canvas, and teachers use Land School to look at the student's screen, whether they're working or not, and they can use Canvas to grade any student's assignment, or they can post an assignment for the student to complete, and they can do that also at home. Here we have a graph, and as you can see, it's a 50-year span from 1963 to 2013. And this is the average grades among students. And in 1963, the average student, or the A, was only 13% of people. That's about 4 people in this class that would average A's. And 36% of C's, so 36% of this class would have a C. And now we see 37% of students have an A, and that is because of the help of technology. Here we have another graph that shows the enrollment in universities and polytechnics. Not even 5,000 people attended universities in 1920, and around 1990, over 100,000 people attended different universities. This is because of the help of new learning strategies and technology. In an article by A.J. Agrawal at the Huffington Post, he talks about how technology actually does make students smarter. Because, for example, in the 1900s, if a kid wouldn't read or didn't want to do his homework, his parents would yell at him. But now any kid can read any assignment or any article just by a simple Google search. For example, for me doing this actual project, instead of going to the library and searching the entire building where I could find a specific book on how technology and tools have impacted learning, I can just type in on Google how technology and tools have impacted learning. Another example, like Math Blaster. Kids can just go on Math Blaster, and it's actually a fun game and a fun way to learn math rather than just going to the library and researching and looking up books. And my solution for the increase in student success, as we are seeing, is to keep implementing new technology and new learning strategies to the students' benefit, and keep finding new ways to improve the classroom and improve the new setup so students can successfully graduate and go to college and learn more. What questions do you have? Thank you.
All right, Case, 2 questions I have for you. Number 1, how valid and reliable were the sources that you used, and how did you know that they were?
The sources that I used were really reliable because I used 2 sources that were government sources, and they talked about how the classroom has changed. And I used sources from teachers that I've taught from the 1950s, and they still teach today. And they talked about how the classroom has changed in their eyes.
All right, and then if you had more time, what additional research would you do?
I'd add more data because I only had 2 graphs, so I didn't have as much proof as I should have had that people have actually been succeeding more. So that's probably about it. I would have added.
All right, cool. Thank you.